If you were tuned in a couple of months ago, you may have seen me get a custom sound system fitted into my Lamborghini Revuelto. I came down to Car Audio Security in Hayes to have it tuned and to speak to the owner of the shop, Raj. He has a large collection of old school BMWs, Porsches, Fords and more. I thought, why not have a walk around and check some of these nostalgic cars out? There's actually 20 cars in here. All yours, yeah?
Everything in here is mine.
For me, as a kid, it's straight to the Renault 5 GT Turbo. That was me growing up. I couldn't afford one, and that's what I wanted. I had a Fiesta, and I wanted an XR2i, but I couldn't afford it, so I put pepper pot wheels on it, and then put XR2 touch on the back window, even though it was a 1.1L. It's like putting an M3. It's like putting, just so you guys know, it's like putting an M3 badge on the back of a 320.
We've all been there. We might
done it as well?
Yeah, we might cuss those guys now, but we've all been there. We've all been there.
Right, let's start here. So what's this?
This is an E92 M3 2010 4-litre V8. So this is the only M3 with a V8 lump.
BMW 635. This car is incredible.
So this is an 80s GT Tourer. So if you were a CEO or you're a wealthy businessman in the 80s, this is the car you would go to. The 635. And if you were a baller, you'd go for the M version, which never made an M6 for the European market, but it was classed as the M635.
And what have you got this just fully lowered, sitting on the floor, just on air?
This is on airlift suspension, so yeah, it's currently on the floor. When you start the car, it'll raise up to ride height. And obviously the wheels have been changed as well.
The Renault 5 GT Turbo, iconic, classic, old school car in the white.
Do you know that these cars have a choke?
Yeah, of course. I remember. I'm old school as well.
So
do you know what a choke is at home? So when you'd start the car would start up, and the choke would actually pull it out. You'd pull it out to get the revs to sit high before the car would stall on itself until the car warmed up, and then you can push the choke in.
Yeah, add a bit more fuel to the carb, so the idling will rise, as you said. And yeah, as you start driving the car, you just pull the choke back down and that's it, it's fine.
And that's it, and it just idles itself. What is this car worth right now?
This is actually a pretty good example. I would say probably somewhere around 17 to 18,000 pounds.
What were these new?
4.5, 5 grand, 6 grand. I may be wrong, but I'd say probably somewhere around there.
Escort Cosworth, Welltail. Is this proper original?
This is original, so this
original colour, original tyres?
No, so the wheels have been upgraded. So these are now 18-inch wheels. So they come with 16s. We've increased the size of the wheel and the tyre just to give it a little bit more of a stancy look. It has been painted, but it's the original colour.
Okay.
It's called a Aurelis Blue, very rare colour. It's the rarest colour in the Escort Cosworths. It was one of the last run-outs. So this is a later model, so it has a smaller turbo. The earlier models have a bigger turbo.
How did you put those two cars up on the mezzanine floor? Because when you go in there, yeah, I don't know how you, I'm not quite sure.
It is a scratch your head moment. And before I go into that and answer that, the reason why they're there is it's a conversation piece. So when a customer comes in, if you're a young guy, you look up there, oh, my dad had one of those. And if you're an older guy, you're like, I was in the VW camp or I was in the Peugeot camp. So it becomes a nice way to break the ice. Because at the end of the day, we're a shop, but we want to break the ice with the consumer. But they were forklift up.
Okay, that makes sense.
They're like cars.
That makes sense.
They're like cars. We used our forklift and we just got some bigger forks and carefully just forklifted them up.
Right, so I don't even know where to walk. So we've got a Porsche there. Do we go to the XR3i?
Okay, let's correct Yanni.
Is that not an XR3i?
That's an RS Turbo.
Is it an RS Turbo?
So that's a Series 1 RS Turbo.
Okay.
Which is the same car that Princess Diana had, but in black.
Yes, correct.
And the story is there were two black RS Turbos because one was her car and one was the decoy car. So when she went somewhere, the decoy car would drive out and then all the paparazzi would follow the decoy car and then she'll go and do her business. But that's a Series 1 RS Turbo.
GT3 roll cage.
Yeah.
This is original. This is early one, isn't it?
This is a 2006 997 Gen 1 GT3.
This is still a great car.
It's a great car and it's probably my most used car here. It's the one that I'd go to tours. I've done Scotland twice in this. The NT500, I've done Wales. So this is the one I'd use because it's not a big car, it's a narrow body car. Enough power, good performance, very agile, and it's just a great handling car.
Let's go to the M3. Again, another incredible example. Wide body. Is this on air or?
So this is on air. I've had this car 10 years. I bought it as a stock car. It's factory colour, Macau blue, very rare colour. And the first thing we did was bag it because that's what we sell as a business. We sell airlift suspension. And then I've gone through the car. It's had an audio upgrade, the wheels. I've redone the interior, carbon intake. It's a great car. Now, by modern standards, these are not quick cars. But when you get into this car and you drive it, you're in
handles.
You're in another world.
This is where you'd put your cassettes. That's your computer. You see that there? That is your computer that would tell you if it needs oil, if there's any fault.
Any of your lights are out.
Any of your lights, your dashboard, that would tell you.
And you got your check lights. So if you look above your head.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So when you start the car, in fact, let's grab the key.
I remember this car. Oh, the old school, the little Clifford LED.
Oh yeah, of course.
Clifford alarms back in the day. All like the Concept 50s and things like that. I had a Clifford alarm, and when you'd go near it, it'd say, "Please stand back. You are being." What did it say? "Please stand back. The alarm will sound."
Yeah.
Clifford alarm was the one. Is Clifford alarm still massive today?
Still massive today. We sell a load of Clifford.
Really?
Still big today.
What is this?
So this started life as a stock E30 320 auto, and we've now converted. It's got a body kit on there, which is it's a company called LTO, Live to Offend, out of the States. We fitted the body kit. It's got an M3 lump in there out of an E36, 5-speed box, cage, bucket seats. This we use as a promotional tool for Airlift and for Slam Sanctuary, which is the clothing brand.
And you can drive this around?
Yeah, this is fully road legal. Fully road legal. Needs an MOT this week, but yes, fully road legal.
We've got M3.
So it's an E46 M3. That's a track car.
Yeah.
And the one in the corner is an E36 M3.
See that one there? Is that manual or SMG gearbox?
That's manual. So that's an
manual.
E36 M3 Evo. So it's a 3.2 engine, early car with aluminium doors, slightly lighter doors.
Yeah.
Individual with Cosmos Black and.
And those are the wing
interior.
mirrors that I spoke about back in the day, where literally they would just get stolen. You just walk past, you just give it a little nudge, and they pop off, just
Correct.
unplug,
Yeah.
and you'd steal them. And mine got stolen, my cousin's got stolen. They just get stolen all the time. And look, early days of the front grille. Look at the kidney grills on the front of the car, small. And now they're just, they're like this. But the interior on that car was always something. So I never had the coupe, I had the convertible version of that. I had the convertible version of that, and I had a 4-door version as well.
Oh, okay. M3.
Yeah, M3.
Nice.
So, and I had PlayStation in there, I had rear headrest. Again, early stage of putting builds in there.
Big in the 90s. That was big in the 90s.
It was crazy. And then obviously, what's that? This is not a...
E46 M3 track car.
Yeah, it's not a CSL. Do you have a CSL?
Yeah,
oh, there you
CSL 's
go.
it.
Oh, do you know what? I'm sure he's going to have a CSL, and there's a CSL. And the biggest giveaway on the CSL was the spoiler.
Correct, the rear spoiler.
The rear spoiler, what do you want to call it? Duck?
The ducktail spoiler, rear spoiler, and the front, because you've got single air intake on the front lower diffuser, the front bumper.
What's that, 840, 850?
840 CI Sport.
Has that got the battery in the boot as well?
Battery in the boot, yes.
Yeah. And what I like is your wheels that you've chose, chrome.
Yeah, well,
Chrome, or the polished,
yeah,
polished finish.
polished lips,
Polished
not chrome.
finish.
Yeah, polished lips.
Which, let's be straight, if these cars are living outside, they're not going to last.
No,
okay, they will corrode, they will start having issues. But what we got there, what's that?
750i L V12 project car for next year.
So what's that, a 190? It's not a Cosworth, is it?
It's a 190 2.5 16 valve. So some people call this the Cosworth as well, but it's not, because the earlier version had the Cosworth head. Mercedes did away with the Cosworth head on this particular, the Gen 2 version. It's a better car in terms of the way it runs.
Yeah.
But it's not a Cosworth head. 993 turbo.
This came out after the Bad Boys, wasn't it?
Yes, so this is the last of the air-cooled turbos. Last of the air-cooled era, the 993. It's a 95 car.
People love these cars, and the big spoiler on the back, fixed.
Yeah.
Okay, back in the day, obviously, they were rubber, weren't they? And obviously, this is the latest
Yeah,
one.
like on the 964, yes. That's a 964 C2, so that's a non-turbo.
It's just an all one, isn't it?
Narrow body, non-turbo, on air, fully restored. So that's virtually the same car, but that's something I'm creating as a fast road street project. Going to change the colour over winter from Guards Red to something different. But yeah, this is an ongoing project.
And then we have my favourite, the Bad Boys Porsche. Ta-da! He knows I love this car. Whenever I come, I'm like, where's the Porsche? Where's the Porsche? Where's the Porsche? So this is?
This is a 964 turbo.
Yep.
Officially the Bad Boys Porsche, but unofficially not the Bad Boys Porsche. Because the Bad Boys Porsche was a 3.6 turbo.
Right.
This is a 3.3 turbo. So this is the same body shape, but it has the engine from the older turbo, which is the 930 turbo.
Yep.
The Bad Boys
Carrera
Porsche.
Cups?
No, these are called Speed Lines. So the Bad Boys Porsche is the same car, but with a 3.6 engine.
Did the Bad Boys Porsche have Carrera Cups on it?
No, Speed Lines.
They had Speed Lines on it, yeah?
Speed Lines.
This car's just great. It's great. I always love the lights. I always love this here. Because obviously they changed the lights, and obviously they come up with a 928 and things like that.
That's the next car. So as you can see, the lights slope back a little bit.
And then they just went back, and then they went all the way back.
Yeah.
It's great. It's just great. And to own all of these cars, and there's 20 here, you've got the two Mercs in the showroom over there.
Yeah, we've got the SL320,
SL320
in the workshop, the GT3 RS, the two cars on the mezzanine floor.
Are these all your cars? What other cars do you have? Do you have any?
996 Turbo S, which is my daily.
Yeah.
GR Yaris.
Okay.
Which was my daily before I bought the Turbo S. So yeah, that is all my
So you've got about 25 cars?
25 cars, yeah.
He's got the new stuff, obviously he's got the GT3 RS.
Yeah.
And he's got the old school stuff. I don't know anyone else that's got this many old school cars in this condition and such a wide range, from the Mercs to the BMWs to the Porsches. What made you love cars so much, first of all?
Growing up as a young lad in the 70s, watching the most iconic programs in the 70s and 80s, you know, we're talking Starsky and Hutch, Professionals, and then you got Dallas, you know, you got
Dallas, my God.
J.R. Ewing and Swellen and even
And Bobby.
driving Mercedes and so on.
Yeah.
And then you
Heart
start
to Heart.
Heart to Heart,
Yeah.
and then you start looking at stuff like Dempsey and Makepeace. They had an
Yes.
XR3i convertible, the A-Team,
Knight Rider.
Yeah, you know, there's some great, and then you move into Miami Vice.
Yes, correct.
Ferrari Testarossa and so
Yeah.
on. So I grew up loving cars just through TV.
Yeah.
And obviously, as a kid, I would aspire to have a car. And, you know, I would have those cool cars as posters on my wall.
I was going to ask you, so my poster on my wall was the Lamborghini Countach in front of the San Francisco Bridge. That was my poster. What was yours?
Testarossa.
Okay.
So mine was a Testarossa. I don't have a Testarossa. I don't
You
have
don't have no Lambos, no Ferraris?
I did have a 355 up until 2 years ago, which I sold. I probably will get back into a Ferrari. The lust and the want for the Testarossa died, and it died when I sort of hit mid-20s and I saw Bad Boys.
Okay.
So when I saw Bad Boys, the movie, for me it was like, right, I want one of those cars at
Yeah.
some point. So yeah, just a young petrolhead at heart, just worked very hard, and luckily I've been able to buy some toys.
Did you start in the audio business? Is this where you started?
Yeah, so I came from Birmingham to study. I studied at South Bank, and one day I was 18, walking down Tottenham Court Road, and I thought, this is the mecca of electronics. I walked into a shop, asked for a part-time job, and it so happened the guy I was speaking to was also from Birmingham, knew the area that I was from, and said, right, I'll give you a job. So he gave me a part-time job, so I worked there Saturdays and Thursdays, and then just the passion grew. Whilst I was at Poly, which became uni, I became the go-to guy. So if anyone wanted any audio, so they'd go and say, go and see this guy called Raj. He's in year blah, blah. He's the only guy with a mobile phone. He'll get you whatever you want. So I'd buy the stock from Tottenham Court Road, put my little margin on top, and then sell it. And then I thought, actually, I can make this into a business. So when I finished my degree, I started straight away at the age of 22 on Tottenham Court Road.
So people that don't know, so that's Raj from Car Radio Security. They don't just do audio and security, they do air ride.
So we do all the performance and styling, which is air ride, exhaust and so on, bolt and accessories. Obviously we do the car audio, that's our bread and butter. We do home audio. We have a business now that sells tools, and obviously Slam Sanctuary Clothing.
That's it.
And that's one of the reasons why we've got to know each other very well over the last few years, is because we're now the partner for the clothing brand, for the Yiannimize brand, so yes.
So let's just say Raj is OG, he's probably one of the goats of the industry, he has an incredible car collection, his setup is amazing. If you're ever in Hayes or you just fancy coming to see some real cool stereos and some cool cars, come see Raj at Car Audio Security.